Since the holidays is just around the corner and multiple Steam sales are coming soon, what I have here today is the ultimate price to performance all AMD rig just for you guys. Hello and welcome back again to Junkyard Summit. So for this month's build, what I have here today is the new /used /AliExpress gaming rig that will prepare you for the upcoming Steam sale this holiday season. Do note that a couple of components mentioned here is gonna be either used or will be coming from AliExpress. The latter will require you to have either a credit card or debit card, as AliExpress doesn't have any cash on delivery option at the moment. Also, the monitor and peripherals are not yet included. And with that, let's do a quick run through on today's parts. A lot of you might know this already, but the Ryzen 5 1400 from AliExpress might be the price to performance champion that your money can buy at the moment. For just 3,200 pesos inclusive of postage, so roughly around $60, you will get a 4-core 8-thread CPU that should rival a 4th Gen i7 CPU, and at the same time with a better upgradability in the future. I got my Ryzen 5 1400 through AliExpress and expect a lead time of 3 weeks to a month if you are planning to buy one for yourself. Then I'll be pairing this one with a B350 motherboard from Asrock. So what I have here today is the AB350 Pro 4 motherboard, and you can easily get a B350, or if you are lucky, you could even get a B450 just for 3,000 to 3,500 Philippine peso. Memories, on the other hand, are relatively cheap these days, so you can either settle for a brand new, or if you're really budgeted, a used one shouldn't be too bad too. A pair of 8 gig sticks should cost you around 3,600 to 4,000 Philippine peso for a 3000 MHz DDR4 memory. But what I have here today is the Corsair Vengeance RGB. I got this for 5,000 Philippine peso back in a sale through Lazada. I think that's a couple of months back. And by the way, my memory clocks are rated for 3200 MHz, so it's still gonna be beneficiary for our Ryzen system. For my GPU, this is a no-brainer at this price point. So what I have here is the RX 570 from XFX. You can easily get one from around 4,000 to 4,500 Philippine peso. Just make sure that when buying a used GPU, especially RX cards, that you first check if it is rust-free, and at the same time if the BIOS is flashed properly, as mining specific BIOS will not work on your system. Storage-wise, I opted for a 240 gig SSD as they are relatively cheap too, and you can easily find a WD Green SATA-based SSD for just around 1,700 Philippine peso. But for today's build, what I will be using is my old Corsair Neutron SSD. The case for today's build is gonna be the Techwear Alpha 2019 tempered glass. This costs 2,400 Philippine peso and is a fantastic case with a lot of airflow. And I also did a review on this case already, which you can check in the link above here. And for the last part, the PSU. You can easily find a decent PSU for just around 1,800 to 2,500 Philippine peso. And at that price point, what you should be looking is any decent PSU with a 500 watts wattage and above. But for today's build, what I'll be using is my DQ750 from Deepcool. Total cost of this build is just around 21,000 Philippine peso, or roughly around 400 US dollar. But this specific build that I have here cost me 22,000, since the Corsair Vengeance Pro RAM is 1,000 pesos more expensive. But if you're really budgeted, you could definitely make it cheaper if you opted for some alternatives. I'll be also listing it here for your reference. So again, here is the finished build, and as for game benchmarks, I tested 15 games and most of the titles can run smoothly on high settings. It seems only Final Fantasy 15 failed to reach 60 FPS even on average preset, but at 54 FPS, that is still way better than what you're getting in consoles. Power draw is also not an issue for this rig as it is only pulling 240 watts while gaming and just over 300 watts when going full CPU-GPU load. And lastly, the biggest advantage of this setup is that unlike other older used builds that have limited upgradability, this rig right here can support all Ryzen 3000 and at the same time can support more powerful GPU as we have excess power headroom with our PSU. And I think that's a wrap for today's video. If you'd like to see more builds like this, comment down below on how much should be the limit for my next build. Also do hit that like button and subscribe to my channel for more tech videos and build vlogs like this. Once again, this is Brain of Junkyard Summit. Thank you and see you in the next one.